Okay. How's it doing that? Hold on. I hate when it does this. Hello? Okay, there we go. For some reason my mic, when I first turn it on for the day, it picks up a lot of background noise. Until I unplug it and replug it. And then it works good. I don't know why. Okay, we're back, baby. We're back to doodle. We're gonna do such a doodle today. Usually doesn't pick up until later on a Saturday, so I might be alone for a while. Alright, let me make sure everything's good to go. And then I guess I'll go ahead and get on doodling. Gotta go live though on TikTok. I don't want live on TikTok. Alright, I guess I should do it. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. Boom. Alright, we are live everywhere. Now I can notify my doodlers. There we go, we did it. Now we can properly get to doodling. Let me check something real quick though. Let's see here, I want to check something. Alright, Boop, what's up, Boop? Spooky, I see you in here. What's up, Kaboom? How you doing? How about doodlers doing this Saturday? We're gonna work on this one again. Hopefully we're gonna finish it today. I'm gonna try real hard, alright? I might just commit to these colors just so we can actually make some progress, but this is where we're at right now with it. We gotta get this lovely lady done. We're gonna see. You're gonna actually get to see some proper shading today. Can you believe it? Sick? What you sick with? The flu or something? Panda? Is she finished? Not quite yet. Should I call you Fruit? Would you like fruit? Or Greg? Not quite. We just finished the liner and the like base colors, and we're about to do some I'm gonna add like all kinds of fun constellations and stuff like that, but I'll do that later. I'm gonna get started on the shading right now. Trying to see what else we can do before we get to the shading. Let's see. Clean up a little bit of this. So how you guys doing today? Usually people don't join until later on a Saturday, so you guys are here. You're here with me, so I don't have to doodle alone. I'm almost done animating a walk. Oh, a walk cycle, so spooky. I sort of did one. It was like from like the waist, not the waist, like the butt down. I posted the grapefruit. Fruit, okay, I like fruit. We'll do fruit. That one little animation I posted on TikTok. Janaya, I see you over there on YT, and Panda's over there too. Okay, we love the double commit. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I did a walk cycle, but it was like from the butt down, so it wasn't a full body, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But I did it in the TikTok I posted where Mochi's singing, because she's like, I'm all alone. Whatever. And then in the end of the video, I'm like walking by my legs, and oh Lord. It was so much easier drawing Mochi just like singing versus just two legs just walking by. Like, I swear, I feel your pain, girl. And I didn't even do the full body. Oh, really? You got that, Kaboom? Oh, how long have you had it? You've had it for a while? Dude, the day that Ichi got hit by a car was, of course, like the day, I think I got it from the vet after bringing her into the vet. I caught the big C, and I never get sick, like ever, because I don't leave the house very often, so I don't get sick very often. And it was like, I caught it once before when it first came out, and I haven't caught it for years. And of course, the one time I get it is right when my cat was just hit by a car. And like, so I'm just like, it hits me pretty hard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to go to the hospital or anything, but it's like the flu times 10 for me. So I was so miserable. My boyfriend got it. He was home. And so I'm having to take care of my horribly injured cat while being so sick. And like with the medicine she was on, I had to wake up in the middle of the night several times to keep shoving medicine down her throat. All day, all night, I kept having to give her medicine while I feel like I'm just a zombie. I was covered in like pee and crap because she didn't have control of her bowels at the time, but like, you know, I didn't care. I was gonna be there for her. She wanna cuddle, I'm gonna cuddle. You can pee on me if you want, I don't care. So I was having to constantly clean her up, keep her stitches clean, and shove medicine down her throat, and I just wasn't sleeping. And there was one day in the middle of it where I couldn't move. I was just like, if I don't sleep right now, I'm not gonna survive. Like, it was so bad. The timing was immaculate, man, let me tell you. Pink Fox, you made it back today. What's up? I remember that one, that video. Oh, you liked it? Thank you. It took a very long time. I would like to do more animations like that, but I don't have a whole lot of time right now to play. I gotta focus on, like, money-making art right now, because we broke. That vet bill was very expensive. But I would like to do more in the future like that. It was a lot of fun doing a little mochi animation. She's my muse after all, so. Boop, what you humming at, huh? What you humming at? Your poor fur baby, at least she feels better now. Yeah, she still has an accident every once in a while going potty, but like I literally don't care as long as she's like comfortable. And like the fact that she got hit by a car and all that happened really was she lost her. She had a buttload of stitches on her stomach. Like her stomach was ripped open, but no organs were damaged, no bones were broken other than her tail. The only thing that happened was she had to amputate her tail and get some stitches. And let me tell you, that is like best case scenario for getting hit by a car. So I was over the moon. I was like, I really, if y'all could have seen her when I found her out there, like it looked like her guts were hanging out and stuff. So when she was in surgery and they were telling me that she's not gonna unalive, I was like, what? Like, and like I said, she could be crippled right now. She, you know, so much could have happened, and it was just basically the tail. And it's like, girl, you do not need a tail. Plus, she's really cute without a tail. I feel bad saying that because I want her to have her tail. But, oh my god, she's so cute with the little nub, especially when she runs around. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. And she's already used to not having a tail. Who needs a tail? I've never had a tail. You know what I mean? You get back pain from the sea? I know it can do all kinds of crazy stuff to you. Phoenix, thank you for all the likes. I appreciate it. It helps. It helps very much. Sedate me? Oh, no. I feel you on that. Alright, so let's get to working on this lady. We're gonna finish her, god darn it. I swear, we're gonna do it. We're back on the phone today for TikTok. Maybe I'll switch at some point, maybe not. We'll just see how it's going. I like to switch if there's like a heavy lull in the stream, you know what I mean? Because I know it's probably annoying to have the stream shut off while you guys are in the middle of watching it and then having to come back. I usually lose a lot of viewers, and I mean, I get it. So if there's like a lull, I'll switch back to the software just to see how it turns out. But I am leaning towards the phone right now, so... But we gotta keep testing our hypothesis. Pixie! I'm so glad that was all... I'm so glad all that was gone is her. Exactly, right? And again, it sucks the bathroom issue. It's not the most comfortable thing for her. But like I said, like if that's all it is, like I will clean up. She could pee in my face every night. I do not care. As long as she's here and she's comfortable and she's not in pain, that is all I care about. So I like I said, when the vet told me that was all that was wrong with her, and it was bad, don't get me wrong, she was messed up, but like that she was gonna survive and not be horribly crippled her whole life, like I couldn't believe it, man. I was over the moon, but then I got the big C and I was just clinging to life, taking care of her and being so sick. It was the craziest timing ever, dude. Oh my god. And then my boyfriend's dad came over and you know, I was like crying and stuff, and he's a really nice guy, so he gave me a hug. That was before I knew I had it, and then I ended up getting him sick, and he takes care of his grandma, and it was just, luckily everybody ended up being okay, but it was just a nightmare of a week. Oh my god. Alright, so wait. What color should this be? This is supposed to be a little gem. What color should a gem be? Alistair, what's up, Alistair? I'm babysitting my nephew and learning Japanese. Oh, really? Do they speak Japanese? You learning it with them? Little nephew. How old is the nephew? I'm not gonna lie, little kids make me very anxious. I like kids and all, but I don't know how to interact with them at all. I've taught painting classes with like 10-year-olds and like 7-year-olds and stuff like that, but I was terrified the whole time. They liked me, you know what I mean? My sense of humor is very childish and like silly, but I'm so terrified the whole time, and I suck at discipline. Like I can't get myself to like discipline them in any way. So of course they would like me, right? There's no consequences. So I'm not the best at taking care of kids, but I'm not like the type that's like, I hate kids. You know what I mean? They just scare me. What's up, Fabian? 2-year-old Parker. Aw, woke up from a nap. Little 2-year-old. Are 2-year-olds hard to manage? Ball, thank you for the follow. Stuck between debating either start a new drawing or try to improve the one. No, my headset. No, get back in there. My headset. I have it like together with duct tape because it broke. If you guys, I don't think any of you are on Purple app, but if you are, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, let's put this on. You can see this right here. It's just all covered in duct tape because the little part that connects it broke. So if I don't put it in duct tape, it'll just dangle. It still works somehow. It works totally fine. It's like hanging on by a cable, but it keeps like snapping off sometimes. So I just have a bunch of duct tape on my ear. I don't think any of you guys ever noticed those, so that's good. I use black duct tape so you wouldn't be able to see. Ain't nobody can afford a new headset right now. This one we've had for like 8 years, and it's a good headset, you know what I mean? And the fact that it still works, I'll use it until it literally can't function anymore. I just turned on Cars, and Parker is already mesmerized. There you go. I know a lot of little kids really like Encanto and some of their newer stuff out. And that one, like, what is it, like K-pop show or whatever that's out with the, like, dancers and singers and all? I know that's a big one. My boyfriend's friend has little kids, and they come over every once in a while when he's home to visit. That's when I get my interaction with little tiny littles, and we just put that on immediately. So learning a new art style is such a pain. It absolutely is, Boop, let me tell you. It is very difficult. Somebody asked me last time if I could start over drawing, like starting from scratch, what would I focus on first? One of the things I would focus on is really getting my own style, because that can be really difficult to kind of get your own unique style down, or focus on I would focus on a more unique kind of style and try to perfect that, you know what I mean? Because, like, you know, I have my style, but it's not like the most unique thing in the world, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a Magic the Gathering / anime style, you know what I mean? Alright, Panda, see you later. My mother plans on getting me my own bank. Oh, there you go, Fabian. Gonna get your money in your bank account. I see you. Sub-Zero, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. How we doing today? You guys having a good Saturday? Usually it's pretty slow when I first start on a Saturday. But you guys came today, so I have some company. I'm gonna do maybe a teal kind of blue for the gem. That maybe. No. I want to do a yellow. I need somebody who's like good at colors to like color all my drawings for me. Like I'll do the line art and everything, and then they can color it, like pick all the colors, and then I'll do the shading again. I'd be cool with that, because colors are not my specialty. All right. Oh, we need to give her some pupils. So I'm gonna show you guys how I usually do my shading for commissions and such. You can see what I'm talking. I am a little bit tempted to make the skin tone regular skin tone. I might make it regular skin tone for now, and then come back after, because it's gonna be really tricky to shade that with the multi-tones like that. So what I might do is I might do regular skin tone for now, and then come back after everything's done and add the kind of nebula business to the skin. I think I might do that because it's gonna be a real pain otherwise. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do that, but I'll figure something out, you know? Pupils. All right. We got our 3 eyes here, baby. 3 eyes. You guys ready for spooky month? It's a common. I love spooky month even though I don't do anything for it. I always get so excited. It's the best month ever. All the seasonal flavors come... Flavors? Yeah, flavors come out at like Starbucks and stuff. I'm learning a new one right now while mixing it up a bit with my own. Did you like the Lara Croft drawing? Where did you post that, Boop? Oh, did you post it in Doodles to show? I'd have to go back and look. I can't remember. I did it early this morning. I'd say keep the third eye without the pupil to keep the mysticism. Well, you know what I could do? I can make the third eye kind of glowing. You know what I mean? Like give it a kind of glow effect. That might be cool. Oh. Yeah, we'll make that one special a little bit. Karma, how you been, Karma? Haven't seen you in ages. What's up? How's your life been? You been hanging in there? Enjoying the new school year and such? Okay, what layer? Let me get rid of these unneeded layers. Get out of here. What's this one? Oh, don't need you. Get out of here. Clean this up a tiny bit. Yeah, so let me go ahead and change the skin to be regular skin for now, and then we'll change it back after the shading and all. And if you guys are curious, I can show you guys how I would do a gradient map too. I might do one for the skin, I'm not sure. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, it just depends. But it definitely won't work with the multi-tone goodness happening right now. Alright. And what color? What's that color? Blam. There we go. Alright. There we go. Don't worry. We'll make sure she's nice and celestial in the end. Busy, busy, busy with life. Is that good? We happy about that? Or the bad kind of busy? Moved, started new school, went online instead, then life threw me for a loop. Oh, okay. So the stressful kind of busy. I see. So Karma, if you go to, what's up, Rocker? Oh, they're in an ad. The quickest way would probably be to go to my Purple app account, and there's a link right on the About Me section. Otherwise, I can send you a link after the stream if you want. I would say it's on my TikTok profile, but everybody's saying they don't see it on there. But don't worry, we'll get you back in there. Athena, how you doing, Athena? What's up? We might quickly finish Athena's doodle, actually, since you're in here. It's been driving me up a wall that it's not finished. Athena, I'd really like to finish it. This one right here, right? This little guy. We might quickly finish that up today. Unless, Athena, if you're gonna be back on, like, Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll finish it then, but if you're not, then we might just go ahead and finish that now. Link after the stream. Alright, yeah, just send me a message on TikTok, letting me know that you need it, and then I'll send it to you that way. I start in-person school in a month after 2 years online. Is that when your school year starts? Or that just happens to be when you're starting back up? Are you in high school? Which is the baddie? This the baddie, or is this guy the baddie? I think we're pretty much almost done with this, so I might just finish this up real quick. Just so I can... Him? You like him? What was his name again? Picus? Is that right? Athena, if you're not busy, would you be able to do me a favor and send me the reference for him real quick? Unless you posted it in live doodle references. You put it in there because it's gonna take a hot minute for me to find it in the live doodle request challenge. So if you could you post the reference for him in there, or you can DM it to me? 15? Oh, I forgot you're so young. Dude, I'm telling you, Karma, if I could draw like you when I was 15, I would be a genius now. It's ridiculous I could start drawing at your age. You can draw animals better than I do. It's ridiculous. Yesterday's doodle I did was a random horror one, IDK. Why I even drew it? Yeah, I've been seeing you do the horror ones lately. Horror is fun to draw, isn't it? And it's very on theme for this coming month, baby. I forgot to spam sprites for the stream doodles. That's okay, Rocker. You'll always have an opportunity to spam them doodles whenever you want, baby. Yeah, live doodle references. That's the easiest way for me to kind of get it. Just to drive you crazy. That probably would drive me a little crazy, baby, and I'm not gonna lie. I need to stop being so weird. You're not weird! I mean, weird is good. You know, we're all weird. Look at me. I'm a freak. Right, and honey, why aren't you feeling good today? What's the matter? Oh, it's Hole. Okay, I was like, that name doesn't sound familiar. Why not? Are you sick? Everybody's getting sick lately, man. Alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and finish this one up real quick. The sketch is pretty much done. We just gotta do some hatching and some grays, and then it'll be done. Finish up the little shovel. That's it, baby. We did it. Silly, zesty weirdo. Well, it's okay, because I'm a little sneeze, so. Getting sick? Oof, yeah. Luckily, I don't leave the house, so I never get sick. Unless my cat gets hit by a car, and then I get sick. But only then. When it's like any other time where it'd be convenient to be sick, never gonna happen. The most inconvenient possible time I could get sick, that's when I'm getting sick, baby. Little sneeze. Silly little sneeze. That's me, baby. You see my face? I have the face of a little sneeze. I plan to make another horror one, just more detailed, but it's hard for detail when I just use a normal mechanical pencil. Yeah. Have you ever gotten, like, the pack of pencils where it's, like, different numbers? I don't think they're very expensive, but, like, there'll be pencils that are really, really dark, like, almost like charcoal, and then they have much lighter ones. So if you like working with just a pencil, I would recommend getting those because it can really darken up some of those more than, like, a regular one would do. Those are always fun, but I'd always lose them, so. Mostly I just drew with the mechanical pencil. Did you miss me? I did, but I did not miss those blinks. But all the other pandaness I missed, we all missed dearly. Alright, we are waiting on the... So, while Athena's getting me that, I'm gonna work on this lady in the meantime. So, let's see here. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do some shading. So the way I typically do shaded is I make a layer... Wait, no, first, I would recommend... If you have a hard time making your lines clean, I would recommend doing this to help clean things up, if you care about that. You want to select the whole drawing. The fastest way I do that is to select outside of it and then invert the selection. You want to make a new layer under the colors. And you want to fill that bad boy in with black. Alright, to be able to see. Okay, so basically what the black will do is if any of your line, if you have like those little pesky little white spots in places that, as you can see there, can you see that, like right there? Those pesky little white spots that are a pain to get, it'll help kind of fill those in and make it look like it's part of the line art. Or it'll let you know if you missed a spot, like right there, right? So that can be, and again, this is just if you want it to look really clean. If you don't really care about that, then, you know, don't worry about it. But it's like the quickest way I've found to kind of clean things up a little bit. And then if it's something like this, where you can't get away with it looking like line art, you can just fill it in real quick. There you go. There you go, we did it. Kablam. Any other little spots? That's pretty much it. We did pretty good with our lines, surprisingly. Alright, and then you can leave that layer there, or you can merge it. I like to merge it just to keep fewer layers so I don't get as confused. You sent it? Perfect. There we go. Thank you. Alright. So let me put this over here. Zoom out. Kablam. And we're gonna finish this, was it you, Karma, that called him a baddie? We're gonna finish this baddie. I tried to do a more D&D style with this one, because it is a D&D character, right? Or am I just assuming that? It has that vibe, you know what I mean? Did you guys sleep in today? Because if you didn't, I'm furious. I slept in today and it was great. I had a dream that I was a weird alien blob monster, but it was kind of cool. It was scary, but it was cool. And then I was chasing Jack Sparrow in Disney World. Very exciting stuff. Early, what'd you do that for? No. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. That was my main what's it called? Main commissioner base was D&D players. Most of my commissions were for D&D characters. I had no idea there was such a big market for it. I'd never actually played it before. I didn't market myself for that, but that just who naturally kind of ended up being my main work base, I guess you could call it. And they're great. They're great to work with, man. I have such fun characters, and because they're attached to these characters, they're very specific about what they want, which I very much prefer, because I like to know that I am giving them what they want, which is another reason why you guys have an OCs with like drawings that you did of them. It's perfect for me. Having an example is just, it makes my life so much easier. A lot of people kind of like, they're very kind about it. They're like, oh, you can do what you want. I want to give you creative freedom. And as much as I appreciate the sentiment, I'd rather have absolutely no creative freedom, and I'll just do exactly what you tell me to draw. Because that way I know you're getting exactly what you want. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing it because you paid me for it, and I want you to like it. Alright? I'm a people pleaser. But yeah, most of them were D&D characters, so. My style used to be more D&D-esque too, back when I did a lot of commissions all the time. It's kind of morphed into a little bit more of an anime style the last little while I've been drawing, but yeah, if you go on my portfolio, my website, I got, my dad managed to get softydoodles.com. You go in there, you can see a bunch of my older commissions, and they're a little painful for me to look at because I did them years ago, and you know, you're always improving, so all I can see is the things that aren't as good. But you can see that my style's a little different in those, which is why I'm working on this one, to have some examples that are like how I draw now, you know what I mean? Like more updated examples for people to examine and decide if that's what they want, you know what I'm saying? That's why we gotta work on some portfolio business today. I've been using a 0.9mm basically ever since I started drawing. I think it's time for me to expand my options. I think it's time for me to put in a doodle request. Yeah, Boop, put in a doodle request. It's been ages, right? Have you ever put one in at all, Boop? Zoomy, what's up? So, the tablet I use is a Gammon tablet. It is not a touchscreen. It's not an iPad. It's more like a computer monitor. As you can see, it's got buttons over. Got buttons right there. And so you can't. It's not like portable or cool like an iPad, but it's a lot cheaper because of that. You just have to have like a computer, or laptop, or whatever. And I've had this one for about like 7 years now. And that's the longest I've ever had a tablet. And it's the first one I ever got with an actual screen, so it's a good one. It's cheaper, you know what I mean? I'd recommend it, for sure. But like I said, it's not as cool as the iPads and all that all the kids have nowadays. Because everybody's parents are rich, I guess. I've never had an iPad. I've had very old hand-me-down tablets, but that's it. But yeah, this one's an affordable. I mean, it's not cheap, obviously. Tablets aren't cheap in general, but relatively, it's a good price. Can't talk about it too much, though, or TikTok will get me in trouble, because they'll think I'm selling something. It happened before. They yelled at me because I was talking about the tablet too much, and they were like, "You're clearly advertising for them, and you have to disclose that in your in your description, or we're gonna ban you." And I was like, "But I'm not. I swear. Someone asked me." Fish, what's up, Fish? How you been? Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way, Zumi. Finger hearts. Oh, Hole, you little naughty. All right, Hole. I see you giving me the hands to draw. We're gonna put you right here. Hole, always making me draw hands. I'm on to you. I'm not gonna lie, I do love those TikToks of like people who like do certain actions depending on the donation or the gift they get. And there was this one where this guy was like outside, and there was like a stone like wall, like kind of like this high up, right? He was standing in front of, and every time someone donated a galaxy, he would jump up on there and jump down and say, "Thanks for the galaxy." And so someone was being a little naughty and like spamming them with galaxies, so he had to keep going up there and jumping off, and by the end of it he was exhausted, and you could see how angry he was. Oh, that's so funny. Alright, where are we at? 3! Thank you, Hole. Wait, I was writing Hole. Thank you, Hole. I'm gonna get really good at drawing those hands, though. It's a gammon. So it's like G-A-O-M... Wait. G-A-M-O-N, I believe is what it is. You can just get it off of Amazon. If you type that in, you'll see the most recent one. And yeah, like I said, it hasn't broke on me. It works just fine, you know? Pep, what's up your back? I'll sell you mine. The tablet, is that what you mean? The old iPad? I probably can't afford it, even if you give me a really good deal. Let's see. Yeah, I believe I was on your first or second page, and that's the only one I've ever... Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta put another one in. It's been ages. Why not, you know? Alright, alright. Let me do the shovel. So it's actually like this kind of business right here, where it's got like that shape. Like that. Okay. Alright. And then we got this kind of business right here. Okay. We can finally finish this doodle. Alright, and then it's got a very interesting shovel shape. It's kind of like that. Because it's like a battle shovel, you know what I mean? What was Athena, what was his race again? I forget what you called him. Is a race I don't think I had ever drawn before. I've done most of the major D&D races, but I don't think I ever even heard of this one. They're an interesting one, though. Okay, we're gonna do this number. And then we want to make it kind of in the ground a little bit. Wait, no, this part would be more like pointy, right? Right? Maybe, I don't know. Might just be the stylization of the what's it called? Hero Forge. The Hero Forge thing. How would I do that at this corner then? Like that. That would make it sharp. My lines are extra sketchy today. And then we got 3 little doodads, right? We got this one. And then we got this one. And then we got this one. And we got little circles in there. And then we got this business. Oh, thank you for the likes. I don't know how to say your name. Thank you for the follow. Would you be able to tell me your name so I could say it? I cannot read. Is that kanji, I think? I learned a little bit of... I don't know the difference between kanji and the Chinese symbols. But thank you. Thank you kindly. Rory. Alright, Rory. Thank you, Rory. By the way, I would recommend joining my Discord. TikTok probably will not notify you when I go live, but Discord will. And if you do doodles, you can post your doodles in there too. It's a jolly old place of doodlers. And I'm also live on Purple App and YT as well. If you would like to get a better view of the drawing. Because I gotta use my phone on TikTok, but you could see, I could use actual software over there. You went over there, Hole? Little Ichi. Hold on, I gotta give you a mochi over there. Gotta give you the due respect. There we go, boom. You posted it, there you go, boop. My mom gave me 2K budget for 2K, goodness gracious. Oh, like she's willing to spend 2K on you, I see, dang. All right, Mom, that's pretty generous. I asked for a Wacom Cintiq. She gave me a $30 XP. Oh no. So I've had my first one was a Wacom, very expensive. It didn't have a screen. That one lasted the longest before this one. And then I did get an XP for like 20 bucks because they kept breaking because I kept getting cheaper and cheaper ones. Couldn't afford a good one again. And yeah, the XP one I got didn't last that long, but oh Lord. Yeah, 2K, that's more than enough to get a good tablet. I mean, shoot, you could get this one easily with that. This one, I'm afraid to say how much it is, but it's relative for decent tablets with a screen, it's not very high. I mean, it is high, but like I said, relative. Relative. All right, and we got oh wait, no, that's up there. It's upside down. Up here. All right. Boom, boom. And we got these little curly cues. Okay. All right, we got our shovel. We've got our shovel. Wait, no. It's right here. Boom, perfect. You changed it? That's okay, Fabian. You guys are always welcome to change your doodle request. I know you guys gotta wait a while. If I commission you, will you do it on live? So, Pixie, I am considering maybe on Fridays or Saturdays dedicating a day to doing commissions. I'm not sure yet. Right now, I haven't committed to that idea yet, so most of the work would be off live. But I might consider doing that for people. It just depends because I try to get them done as quickly as I can, and I can't afford to wait until a day that I can stream, if that makes sense. So I'm still debating if I want to do that or not. If I do that, and you want to see like the whole thing on stream, it would take a very long time to get it done for you. Is the other thing. But I'll let you know if that ends up being something I can figure out how to do. But all right. Okay. So we got this. We got this. I think we can go ahead and do the grays, baby. The Chinese translation is Yubi, but I mainly go by Yuri. Okay, Rory, I see you. Oh, you gotta go, Kaboom. All right, thanks for popping in. You have a good one. Hang in there. I know you're a busy lady. Or fella, or whatever. Whatever you please. I refuse, Pit. I will not do Optimus Godzilla Prime. Get a job at the Ooh, there you go. That sounds like a very not high pressure job, which sounds awesome to me. Because I hate dealing with customers and like high energy stuff, so that sounds like a good deal. Luana Arts, thank you for the rose. Hold on, we gotta get you up here, Luana. Am I saying that right? Luana Arts. And a little rose. Thank you. Alright, okay. Let's do the grays and the such. My lines are really sketchy, so I doubt I'm gonna be able to fill in much, but you know I gotta try. And this part's... I guess we can make some of those patches a different color. Give it the patchwork kind of business, like right there, and then right there. Nope, right here. I can make this one patchwork too. And right there. Okay, we got some light sleeves. Boom. Boom. Y'all, see, I don't know how risky it is to be doing the pig bucket fill when the canvas is this big. Because imagine if I click outside the lines, it's got to fill up that whole page, and that's a dangerous game we're playing. But it's just so convenient to fill it in that way. I can't help but risk it. You know what I mean? All right, and then, oh, they got the undershirt. Yeah, this one. See, doesn't it look better now that we're getting more done on it? Come on now. Come on now, you can't go wrong. You just needed a little color. Actually, make the boots nice and dark. I have to clean that up a little bit. And then we'll do this. This, will that work? No. This? Yeah, but I think I want to change that. I like that a lighter one. That, yeah, there we go. But no, now that's too light. God darn it. Alright, that'll work. And then we got the little hat right here. And then he has... Okay, so it's like a dark brownish color for the hair. Okay. I see you. And I have to do some cleaning there. Alright, is that it for that? Alright, and then this. This would be a dark right there. And it would be a lighter right there. Actually, a lot lighter right there. And then, oh, it's gotta have a border. Alright, there we go. And then, so you want it slightly darker than that. Come on, you're telling me that hole is too big to fill it in, you sometimes it's really good about closing the holes for me, and sometimes it just refuses. Like, it'll be a single pixel, and it's like, that gap is way too big, can't do it. That one would be too big, to be fair. There is a setting in the software to like adjust how much it'll compensate for that. But you can't set it too high because then it like won't fill it in all the way at all. You know what I mean? Like you'll just see like a white outline of everything like that. You know what I mean? Because that little slightly less white pixel will count as another color. So it's kind of a little bit of a battle. That's why I usually keep it the way it is, because it'll fill it in all the way, and sometimes there's some spots I gotta do by hand. But if you guys have some software that allows you to mess with that, I would recommend it, so you can use the paint bucket more often. All right, and then I want this to be a little bit darker. Luna, thank you for the follow. I sent my first character art request in a while. There you go. Cannoli Celini, is that how you say it? Thank you for the follow. Artwork for trading cards? I haven't, but I have had someone suggest that to me because my older style was more of a D&D style or Magic the Gathering kind of style. I used to play Magic the Gathering a lot, so I would do it, but I've never done it before. Was that the vibe you were thinking of, or were you thinking more along the lines of like Pokemon kind of cards? I will say though, the artwork in Magic the Gathering, I wish I was that good. The art on those is, I really like that art style. It's not everybody's favorite art style, but I really like it. It's like a much better, more detailed, slightly more realistic style than mine. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right. Now let's clean this up a little bit, do some hatching, and then we finally finished it, doodlers. And then I'm going to try really hard to get as much done for that commission lady today as I can. In theory, we could finish it today, but probably not if I'm being real. Commissions take a long time. But I would try. We're going to see. Well, let me make sure it's still playing music from my purple app. Yeah, you stopped, you little biscuit. I hate that it does that. I wish there was a way. Is there a way to turn that off? For those of you that listen to like music playlists on YT, is there a way to turn off that thing where it'll like ask you after like 10 minutes if you're still listening and it'll like pause the song? I don't know why they would even do that, because it's like, wouldn't they want people to like leave it playing? Because then it'll keep going to the next song and then they can get more ad revenue. If they like leave for a while, it'll still be playing and they'll still get the ads. You know what I mean? So why would they turn that off? I thought it was set. And like, I'm not paying attention, so it could be off for a minute before I even realize it. Silly buttery beep. You gotta go? Alright, Karma, you have a good one. Soft hates my drawing request. I mean, if that's your drawing request, then yes, indeed, I do. That would be the worst. I couldn't relate to that problem. What was the problem? I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, are you talking about when I was talking about like the drawing software, that kind of thing? You ain't gotta talk. You could just hang out. We'll enjoy the aura, you know what I mean? I do enough yapping for the both of us, so you could just hang out if you want. Just do your thing. Alright. Usually when I watch streams, I don't talk very much, so I'm a quiet observer typically in other people's streams. Nobody even knows out there. I'm a little lurker. Alright, hatching time. Let's do it. Alright, I might get a little quiet when I do hatching. I don't know why, but I have a hard time talking and hatching. I swear I'm not ignoring you guys, okay? It's just for whatever reason my brain turns off when I do this kind of thing. Not gonna do too much hatching because this is a more detailed one, so too much too much hatching could make it look a little messy. But it's good to do a little bit to kind of differentiate the depth of some of the things in the outfit. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like that. Show that that arm's a little further away. And I do want to give it a little bit of a light glare, just to show that it's shiny. Okay, did we do it? I think we might have done it. We finally did it, Doodlers. What do you think, Athena? You like it? We finally got to finish him. I love bunnies. Thank you for the follow. What's up, Quinter? How you doing? Don't turn off your brain softening. I don't know. I think, I think I could get by without it. You ever seen Bochi the Rock? I don't think so. Bochi the Rock. Going to Spirit Hall. Oh, the store? You gonna get you a costume, Famian? Yes. I changed my drawing request. Listen. I'm not doing that Godzilla Transformer, alright? I refuse. I already did it. I did the thetas. Now it's time to finish this little lady face. Alright. Finish. Well, we're still like smack dab in the middle of it. But, alright. So, let's see. How should we start this? First, I'm gonna do another little layer. Put it above the color. And typically, how I usually do it, I just use a regular layer. If I want to do a quick drawing, right? Like how you guys typically see me do color and stuff. I'll turn the layer. No, not that. Stop it. I'll do a layer that's a soft light layer. And that's typically what I do for like the simple cell shading, right? You know what I mean? Like I would do this, right? And because it'll give you a nice simple kind of cell shading that you can work with. And it's faster and it's a little bit easier, I say. But for commissions and stuff like that, I take a little bit more time and a little bit more tediousness. Just use a regular layer with some dark reds and such, and then I just start shading away, baby. These are like how I do the, you guys see my art TikToks recently where it's like all the like portraits and stuff that I've been doing, how the style looks a little different. This is typically how I do that kind of thing. So it's a lot of airbrush, a lot of blending, just going in and slowly working my way downtown. I do also like to add a little bit of blush on these, but I'll do that at the end. So let's see here. Oh, I don't have the YT chat up though? Okay, nobody's there. That works. Since I've released that stuff. Alright, Athinga, thanks for popping in so we can get your doodle done. You have a good one. I'm glad you liked it. You like it, Quinter? Thank you. Halloween Town are terrified of cute things. If you see your cats, a baby, or even a teddy bear vanish, oh lord, they would hate Mochi then. Because she's the cutest cat in the universe. Alright. So let's, I probably should have done the eyeshadow yet. So I'll probably go back and... I'll go back and change that later. So it's a lot of airbrush, a lot of soft blending. There are 2 airbrushes I typically use. If you're on... Oh no, you can't see over there anymore. I use... These are 2 presets. I use the soft airbrush and the hard airbrush. So the soft one looks like this, and the hard one's for like cutting creases, pretty much. Like this, I would use the hard one. And then for bigger sections where we want more of a soft transition, I'll use this one. But I'm always going to end up blending it a lot too, so it's never just like... I couldn't do the face without blending at some point, you know what I'm saying? Alright, let me see. Noses can be a little tricky sometimes. And the blending brushes I use is typically 2. I use this one. I can't read that. Maybe Yuri can read it for us. I'm not sure what it says. This one, it's kind of like, it's technically for fur, but I like how it blends. Kind of like a paintbrush kind of thing. And then I use blur for all the soft things. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I do, baby. Just go back and forth with those and start whittling away. Just like this. Actually, I think that I'm filling all of this. So this, I think, needs to be a little bit more like that. Yeah. There we go. And that's it, baby. That's all I do. And I just do this for a couple hours, and then you got yourself a doodle. It's a couple more steps after this, but this is probably the longest part of the process. But again, it gives you a very different vibe than just doing the soft light shading and doing... You can still make it look more realistic with the soft light. I used to do that, but I find it honestly a little bit quicker. Because I would have to use several layers if I do it. So like I would do all of this like more detailed shading but with the soft light. But because it can't get very dark, I would have to keep layering them on top of each other. So doing it this way, it's a little tricky because you got to pick the right color. But overall, I think it's a little bit more convenient to do it this way. And if you want to use a gradient map, this is a great way to do it too. You could just do the whole thing in black and white like you're doing a pencil drawing and then slap a gradient map on top if you don't want to mess with the colors. I might show you guys after I do the shading on this. I might put a gradient map on anyway so you can see how it works. It's really weird at first if you've never used it before, but once you figure it out, it's really easy. So do not be frightened. Dizzy, you're all right? Flat brush extension? Oh, could you could read it? Is that what it says? Hira Fude Nobashi. Flat brush extend. Okay, all right. Flat brush extension. Good to know. We got translator. You like bochi? It's been happening a bit more recently. I don't really to care about me being dizzy. There was one point when I was like 21. I mean, I still am 21, but a long time ago when I was also 21, I would get these random dizzy spells that were so bad I would like fall over. Like I physically couldn't stand up straight. It was really weird. One time I was on this little independent film set thing and I was a zombie. And I kept, like, we were supposed to stand in the grass and look like zombies, and I kept falling over on the grass because I literally couldn't stand up. I don't know what it was about, why I got it. It went away. It took, like, maybe a year, but eventually it went away. So I don't know what that was about, but good now. It hasn't happened in a long time. You might have, if you have allergies, that can mess with your ears. Like, you can get... I don't know what it is in your ears, but allergies can mess up your ears, and then that could make you really dizzy. So maybe it could be something like that for you if you're not having any other, like, bizarre symptoms. You know what I mean? And then we softly blend it out. Look at that. See? Nice and soft. Yeah, I use this blur brush, like, all the time now. I used to mainly not make the shading so soft. I used to keep it more looking like this because I like the painterly effect. But lately I've been feeling the soft, you know? We liking the soft. I feel like I'm gonna fall if I get up. I would recommend not getting up then. Give yourself time. You don't want to be falling all over the place like I was. You could hurt yourself. Do not hurt thyself. Attempting to draw something I'm gonna regret attempting, but oh well. Listen, Boop, you gotta live life on the edge. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't turn out good, then nobody has to see it. You know, I've done quite a few drawings that no one will ever see because they just weren't right. You know what I mean? So we start doing this with the airbrush and just slowly layering it up, baby. And I'm not super worried about the colors right now. Mostly I'm just sticking with the reds, pretty much. We can always go in and add some more colors. Like afterward, I'll add some blush on top after I do the shading and all. I think her chin might be just a tad bit too prominent. Let me see. Maybe not. And sometimes I literally can't tell until I'm done doing all the hard work, and then it's really hard to change. Just be careful not to do the shading on the same layer as your colors. I have done that accidentally many times. And it's a real pain in the booty because you can't, unless you undo everything you just did, you can't really fix it, unfortunately. You either just have to commit or get rid of it all and try it again. It sucks. And it's because this isn't like a special formatted layer, it's really easy to make that mistake. Like I said, I do it all the time. Not sure how I'm feeling about this, if I'm honest. Something about the face feels a little off. I think maybe this is too like wide, I guess would be the word. Maybe that would look better. Hmm. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Perhaps. I do think this right here needs to go up a little. That looks better. Okay, let's try that. I still feel like something about the nose isn't quite right either. Maybe this part needs to go out. Yeah, I think that helps. It's a little too low down on the face. Do you do shading and highlighting on the same layer? So this way, no. I do the highlighting on another layer. When I do the soft light stuff, I will, or like the soft light settings. Let's actually see what that looks like, soft light. I'm curious. Oh, you can barely see that at all. Look at that. If I'm doing the soft light way, sometimes I will do it on the same layer. Typically, I won't, but if I'm trying to do it quickly, I might do it on that layer. But this way, no, I create its own layer. Can't do it on this one. I mean, I could, but I don't typically. All right. See, like I said, for whatever reason, sometimes I can't see what needs to be changed until I'm at this stage. And like I said, it can be really difficult to make changes after you've already done the color and the shading and all that, because it just takes a lot more adjusting. You gotta like redo a bunch of sections over and over again, but I can't get myself to see it otherwise. Sometimes it looks right in line art, and then it's just so not right when you add shading. Let me think here. Let me think. JP, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Doodle Club. You got a question? Lay it on me, Panda. I'm ready for it. Give it to me straight. I can take it. Make it so you can see a little bit better. My next drawing be Optimus, Godzilla, King Kong, Xenomorph Prime. Absolutely not! Dude, that would be a nightmare to draw that. Oh no. Anemia? What's anemia? What you mean anemia? I'm on the wrong layer. No, no. Okay, I think that looks okay, actually. Looking alright, maybe. Maybe. I'm gonna try one more thing. And this would be a real pain in the butt, but I have to see if it will help. Okay. Is that better or worse? I think it is better. That's better, huh? Yeah, I think that's better. Dang it. Alright. It's alright. It's not too bad. You hate all my requests. I hate your requests when they're bad. So those are bad requests. Alright? I would never say that normally, but those are bad. Those are not good requests, alright? I'm sorry. You should give them to Holokite. Holokite would do those like no problem. I'd be like, I'm already drawing that right now. And they'll do it perfectly while they're at it. It's crazy what they can draw. September 30th, I will draw the citizens of Doodleville, and I will show what the citizens of Doodleville looks like. Oh, I am curious to see what they look like. Let's see what's up with the Doodlevillians. Alright, I'm probably just, even if something else needs to be changed, I might just need to commit to the face looking like this so we can actually get some more done. But yeah, like I said, this is why it can take a long time, because little things like this, they're very, if you look at my time lapses, you'll probably see me doing this a lot. It goes by really fast, but you can see me like constantly adjusting little bits of the face and stuff like that, unfortunately. That is also a good way you can tell if somebody's like tracing art or something like that, trying to be sneaky about it. A lot of times if they do a face like this and they don't tweak anything at any point, like not an eye or anything, a lot of times that could be an indicator. Not always, obviously. Some people are pros, some people don't care about, you know, little details like that. But I have seen people who are like on TikTok pretending like they did art when they didn't. One thing you will typically see with those people is that they never do any adjustments or anything. And when unless you're like a god at doing faces perfectly the first time, a lot of times you will end up tweaking little things here and there, so be on the lookout for naughties. Alright, that's gonna have to do. That's gonna have to do, baby. If this was a commission, I would probably spend another 2 hours fixating on the little details. Can't do it today. Good enough is never good enough. I have to obsessively work over it over and over again until it looks perfect. Because they're paying me money, so it has to be perfect. Alright. Alright. Do want to adjust the lip just a tad. Just a tiny tad, like that, maybe. Is that right? People with big, beautiful, luscious lips. I'm so jealous. So jealous of big, beautiful lips. You know, in a lot of Asian cultures, it's girls typically don't want big, beautiful lips. And I thought that was interesting, because that's kind of a staple in terms of beauty in America. And over there, they're like, I want my lips to be as tiny as possible, which I thought was interesting. Culture can really warp your perspective on things. You gotta go, Fabian. Alright, have fun doing whatever you're doing. I'll be here doodling it up. Alright, hang on one second. I gotta plug something in real quick. Home from the hospital. How's everything going, Rocker? We doing okay? We hanging in there? Welcome back, Sub-Zero. It's Saturday. My days are all mixed up. Yeah, I keep thinking it's a Friday today for whatever reason. But it ain't. It's a flip-flopping Saturday. Sundays are the day I really have off. I ain't gotta do nothing, so I'm excited. Typically on Saturdays, I still gotta do stuff. It's not fun. Thought today was Sunday. Dude, today is just not today, you know what I mean? Today feels like any other day except today. Today is gonna be today, or today is gonna be today. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about today. Alright, hang on one second. I'll be right back. just doodling. Doodling it up, Pink Fox. You know how I do. You know how we do when we doodle. We're doing this lovely lady right here. 'Cause I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about today. We're working on the shading right now. Trying to think how I want to do the shading, if I want to give it more dramatic lighting or not. Never been super good at the dramatic lighting. You know when it's like really harsh sunlight, like beating down right on your face? Usually I'll do like hard light kind of like coming in from behind them, you know what I mean? Like a backlight. But when it's directly down on them and there's like hard shadows and hard highlights, I've never been the best at that kind of thing. It's a little hard. It's a little hard for me to get right. Some people are just freaky geniuses with that kind of thing. And if you can be good at it, it can be awesome for your art. I might change the shape of the nose. Because originally when I was sketching it, I wanted her face angled up slightly, so that's why I did the nose like that, but I don't think it's really working. Not that, because the rest of her face looks like it's not angled up, so I might need to make the nose look a little more straight on. Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna tweak it just a little bit. Just a little. Get that shading out of here. So I want this to be scooched over a little. Tilt it a little. And then I do think the face needs to be, or the mouth. I do think the mouth needs to be just a little more over there. Just a tiny bit more over there. No, not crop. And then I think this should kind of. This is hard. No, that don't look right. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna leave it like that and let the shading do most of the work, because the more I mess with it with the line art, the more confusing it'll get. For whatever reason, when I can't do a lot of detail with the nose with the line art because it always just, like, I don't know if the lines just make it stand out too much or what, but it never really looks right for some reason for me. Noses are difficult to do. Yeah, they are. Nani, thank you for the follow. Let alone render. I gotta be honest, you guys, I never heard of the word render. So rendering just means like doing detail work, right? Is that because that was never a word that was used back in my day. So I didn't know what that rendering was always like for like games and stuff. You know what I mean? Like rendering the worlds before you play it or whatever. But apparently it's like doing details on a drawing, which I thought was interesting. So I never say rendering. I just say like the specific, like I'll say maybe doing detail work. Whoa. Stuff like that. But the kids nowadays say render. And again, in my brain, it just always sounds like it's like for video games or something, or like 3D software stuff. You know what I'm saying? Details refinement. Okay, why render? Isn't that originally for like who's he what's it? What am I talking about? For like software or like 3D models and stuff? Isn't rendering a thing for that? Okay, I'm liking the shape better. Now I just gotta get these nostrils to work with me here. Do. They will do. Taking it day by day. Alright, I feel you, Rocker. I've had some family members in the hospital, and it is just make sure to take care of yourself as much as you can. Alright. I've been in the position where you want to take care of them and you kind of neglect yourself a little bit. So when you get home, be sure to make sure you're taking care of yourself too. Okay, and that person in the hospital, they want you to take care of yourself as well. All right, so just do what you need to do when you get home to kind of de-stress as much as you can and take care of yourself when you can. All right. I know how hard that can be. I guess it is neater to just say one word, render. You know what I mean? You should get some takoyaki. Takoyaki is good, but I do not like squid tentacles. So I would make my own takoyaki with cheese. But the flavor of takoyaki is really tasty. Have you guys ever had it before? They sell it everywhere in Japan as like a quick thing to grab and eat at like stands and stuff like that. The flavoring is really good. To the point where I bought a little cake pop maker, like how you make cake pops, but I would make takoyaki because they're like the same size and shape. And I would put cheese in it, and they're so good. But man, do they take a minute to cook. Sorry, that's probably loud. Every time, I haven't gotten any messages all day today, and I swear to God, as soon as I start streaming, my phone was notifying me about updates. My friends start Snapchatting me. Ugh. Every time. It's not too loud for you guys, right? Because I might need to turn off notifications if it's crazy loud on you guys. What if I don't want... What if you don't want a what? Huh, Stingray? You better start whining. How you doing today, Stingray? I call it Rendell. Rendell? I call it Rendell. I call it render, but I mean my style is 3D-ish. Okay, alright. I guess when I do this kind of thing, it has more of a 3D vibe, I think, maybe? Somebody said that on one of my TikToks. They were like, it looks 3D, and I was like, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. Alright, we can do this. We gonna get there. Snoots are always hard, alright? We'll get there. Don't panic. Whatever you do, don't panic. We're gonna get there. Okay, so then this part needs to go like that, and then over here will be the see, it's this other nostril over here at this angle that is just such a pain in the booty. Because it's like the tip of the nose kind of going over the other nostril. I was doing a painting for my boyfriend's stepmother. It's like a portrait of 3 people. And let me tell you, those snoots. Them snoots were not wanting to work with me. But we got there in the end. It just took a few hours. 3 different snoots I had to do. Because it was 3 different portraits on the one painting. But it's actually not taking as long as I thought it would, considering it's 3 portraits. I can show you guys on Purple App if you want to see it. I'm probably not going to post a TikTok because I don't know if she'd want me to. It's like family members or whatever. Actually, maybe I shouldn't do that now that I say that. Maybe not. I mean, no one will ever know who they are or recognize them. But maybe just to be safe. I don't know. Matey! Hi, Mama Moats. Oh, you guys on Purple App, take a look. Take a look at the moats. You can see her. Here she is. Here she is. See, this is what she does. She'll get right in the phone, right here. And just snuggle all over it. Because she needs attention now. Look at her. Look at my moats. Look at my moats. See, she's still snuggling the phone. Oh, Mama. Don't rub on the mic, honey. That'll be very loud. How you doing? And she knows if she does this, I can't ignore her. Because, again, she is in everything I'm trying to do, so. Hey, you need me to scooch that back so you can walk by? Let's see. Can I get back to doodling, sweet mama? Can you see her face? Sort of. A little. You can see her snoot. Mitzi, can I pretty please get back to work? See, and you can see why it's always jiggling, because she just has to snuggle right on the phone. There's plenty of other things she can rub on, but she knows I'm looking at this, so that's what she has to, like, fixate on, because she knows it'll stop me in my tracks. But you know, what am I supposed to do? I can't, like, get her to leave, or, I mean, the only thing I can do is lure her away with treats, you know what I mean? And that's just kind of enabling her, you know, so, but I can't punish Mochi, like, that's just not gonna happen. It's Mochi, I can't punish Mochi. The idea of it is just silly to me. She's the queen, alright? She does what she wants. It's my job to just work around her, you know? Uh-oh. Are we back? Are we alive? Mochi, my beautiful queen. Can I please go back to doodling? Oh, look at her. I might need to lure her away with treats because I think she's gonna stay here. Look at that beautiful girl though. Look at that squirrel tail. Oh my goodness. Alright, Mama. Sorry, it's probably very disorienting everybody on TikTok because she is snuggling the snot out of the phone right now. She cannot be stopped. Alright, you guys pet Mochi for me. I'm gonna go grab the cat treats. Alright? Be right back. You guys keep an eye on her. Oh, look at that Mochi. Hopefully she'll get down without me having to do that, but we'll see. You wanna get down for me, Mama? Here, come here. You can eat the treats right here. Come here. Come on, Mama. Yeah, good girl. There we go. See, I'm an enabler, but, like, what am I supposed to do? She's a Mochi. She does what she please. Alright, we're back, and we can draw again. We are cozy in blanket and can doodle. Alright, see you later. No more room. Bye. back to PNG. You gave her a pet for me, Pink Fox. Thank you. Alright, let's get back. Let's do this nose, for the love of God. Yeah, we're definitely not gonna finish this today. Ugh! We'll make progress, though, you know. Once I get past these little difficult sections, it'll go a lot faster. You guys know how it is with little things like that. Yeah, there's just a couple things. See that? I don't know. I mean, does that look right? I don't know. It's so hard to tell. I don't believe. Got that song stuck in my head now. You guys can see okay? I know she was all over the phone. There we go. How much do you zoom in? I'm not quite sure how to answer that. So this is the whole canvas, right? And then just kind of like this. I don't usually go closer than this, I suppose. So I can still see. Sometimes if I'm really getting in there, I might do that, but typically like this is about as close as I get with it. Alright. See, it's this other little naughty nostril that just never wants to play nice with the rest of the nose. And then it's like the way that the bottom of the nose kind of wraps around. It's very strange. I'm still kind of figuring this out. Because a lot of times when I do more anime style, I'm not doing a nose like this. So I don't have quite as much practice with this. But hey, we're getting the practice right now, you know what I mean? Alright, alright. Looking nose-ish. Alright, I think we might leave it like that for now. Actually, this nostril though. Let me just try to do all the nose details with this, because it's a little bit easier to adjust. I think this needs to be just a little bit higher, like that. And this will kind of be like that. See, that just doesn't feel right though, you know? Oh no, I did that on the line art layer. Oh, I was liking it too. Dang it. Alright. Alright, don't panic. Oh, that sucks. That's a blow right there. That's on the vector layer too, so I can't work with it. Alright, that's okay. Don't panic, alright? We got this. We can do this. I'm just gonna trace it on the correct layer. Like that. And then we're gonna erase it. It just never looks as good when you gotta do it a second time. Okay, we're getting somewhere, I think, at least. Do you zoom past 100%? Yeah, I think, what would 100% be? Yeah, this is 100%. A little bit more. I think most of the time I stay at around 100, maybe further away, but yeah, I'd say usually around 100%. Unless I make the canvas a little too big accidentally, and then I'm zooming in a lot more than that. I'm not very consistent with my canvas sizes, if I'm honest. My poor computer hates me for it. Alright, I think this will be good enough for now, and then we'll just come back and mess with it later. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Okay, do you think that looks better? Typically that part of the nose lines up with the corner of the eye to an extent. Okay. Alright, we're just not going to have any line art on the nose. That's fine. One thing I noticed that was interesting when doing a lot of portraits more in this style is this part typically is like one of the lightest parts on the face. Like, for whatever reason, of course it depends on what you're doing, but the crease, like this part right outside of the nose and this part tends to be the absolute lightest. You'll be able to see that better when I do the highlights and stuff. You'd think it'd be like up here on the cheeks, right? Because that's where the highlighter goes and like the tip of the nose. But I notice right here tends to be one of the lightest areas of the face for whatever reason. And it looks pretty that way. Again, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I'm on a me. A lot of smudging around as well. Boba, tofu, yakisoba, gyoza and crab bar. Goodness, you having a buffet over there? Okay. Rule of thumb, I never zoom in past 100%. It'll make you hyper-focus on one area, and you feel like you need to zoom in past 100%, and the canvas is too small. So I think typically my canvases are too big. I just do it to where I can do little details on the face where I don't see pixels, you know what I mean? But that's not the best memory saver. The only problem with that is, like, I feel like I'm afraid to leave any little details unfinished if it's for a commission, because, you know, obviously I want it to look perfect for them. But if I'm doing it for me, I think that would be a good way of going about it so you don't get obsessive. But when I'm doing a commission, it's my job to be obsessive, you know? But it is true, you don't want to get too close and then you can't see how it's actually... I used to do that a lot back in the day. I would get really close, and then when I zoom out, it doesn't look good, and I don't know why. It's because you need to be able to see a fuller picture to an extent, especially with shading and stuff like that. And, like, faces, because, like, you need to constantly check to see if it, like, actually looks right on a face. Like, even if it's like, okay, it's this shape, so it should be shaded like that. Sometimes that's not true with the face, so zooming away, you'll be able to see, like, something isn't right here. What's going on? His style reminds me of Arcane. So that is a big compliment, Sundots, because I love the art style in that show. It is so gorgeous. My doodlers have told me, I've told my doodlers about it before, how, like, I could just watch that show on mute just to look at the art. So that is a huge compliment. Thank you. If all my art could look like that show, I would be satisfied. I'd be very happy. So if this little looking like that, then I'm a happy camper. That makes me feel better about it. This show's art style is flipping gorgeous, dude. I really like, especially like the 3D, like animated, but with like an artistic 2D edge to it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I love that kind of look to it. It's gorgeous. Oh yeah, you didn't update us yet today, Panda. There we go. You're slacking, dude. I thought you'd be on a newer season by now. Okay, the nose is tolerable. Okay, we're gonna leave the nose for now. And then I work on it more. Can't help it. All right. We're gonna leave the nose for now. Work on some other things. One thing I also recommend if you want to do this kind of art style, don't be afraid to really crank down on those dark spots. Now be careful, you don't want to do too dark in too many areas because then it'll look muddy. But little tiny areas, like right in a, come on computer, right in like a crease, you want to really crank down on the super dark spots. Or like right, you see how like this is under the hood or like this is under the hair? Once I get to a certain point, I'm going to go in and really darken up those creases. Like, don't make it too much. It can be a little tricky to find the balance. But if you can, that'll give you more of a depth. Because, like, a lot of times when two things are next to each other, there's, like, a really, really dark crease in there. And a little bit of it might be, like, solid black, right? That's one thing my teacher would always tell us is make your darks darker and your lights lighter. But that made me just think that all of my shading should be darker and lighter. So there's a balance to it. It can be a little tricky, but basically if it's like a little section like that, or like right where the mouth kind of creases, you know what I'm talking about? Like right there would be super, super darker. And like the nostril, obviously that would be super dark, stuff like that. You want to do just little areas. Try not to put it everywhere because again, that'll make it look muddy. I would say start with like creases. and do it that way. Make those areas really nice and dark. And that'll give you more of a 3D effect, if that's what you're going for, you know. Do whatever you want if you don't want it. Some people like the softer shading where it's more kind of, like it's all relatively light, you know what I mean? Which is a gorgeous style. I don't think I have the self-restraint to do that. My tendency is to get too carried away with shading. There's a lot of times where I'll do the whole body in shading and then I'll go back and lower the opacity of the layer, because sometimes it looks better if I just lighten everything up, and then maybe I'll come back in with another layer, and just on those tiny little spots I'll darken them up like that. You see what I mean? Kind of like that better, actually. Maybe just like a little bit more like that. Do we like that better, or do we like it fully dark? Kind of like that better, like the softer, you know what I'm saying? What do we think? Painting with line art is hard. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have line art. I've just always had line art. I don't know. Occasionally I'll get rid of the line art, but it always looks like that if I do. You know what I mean? I feel like I need those guidelines. This drawing I'm doing looks bad, but a little decent. I'm gonna crash out. Don't crash out, Boop. No. You can do it. Oh, bot. Get out of here, bot. Scram. Don't worry, I slayed the bot. My doodlers on Purple App are safe. Do not fright. I saved the doodle day. Have you tried adding a layer above the line art? No, like changing the color of the line art? Is that what you mean? I think I'm gonna keep it light like that. I think I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do a layer on top to just darken up those creases, and that'll be it. Alright, so yeah, let's do that. Ooh, well, she doesn't have a snoot. Where'd your snoot go, girl? Yeah, I like it lighter. So I'm gonna merge these two layers together. There we go. Making progress very slowly. We're making progress. And this part right here too, for whatever reason, around the eye and like just under the eye, tends to be very light as well. Sometimes it can kind of be in the middle of the crease right there, tip of the nose, and like right here above the lips and right around the corner of the nose tend to be the lightest sections, I've noticed. At least, I mean, again, it always depends on the lighting you're using, but like typical basic lighting that I do for my faces and stuff, that's typically, and it's something I would have never expected, you know what I mean? I wouldn't expect that part to be the lightest, but in a lot of cases it is, so. Doing that a lot seems to have helped. Things look better when I do heavy shading like this. You threw up. Oh, Lord, Hole. Why is everybody sick? Do you need to go lay down and feel better? Thank you for the roses. Don't worry about giving me roses. Go feel better. Thank you, Hole. Take you some Pepto-Bismol or something. Save and try blending your line art and base colors. I'm not sure what you mean by that, blending your line art and base colors. Like blending the line art actually into the shading? Is that what you mean? I don't think I can do that with the vector layer I have. This one. Alright. Oh, let me, I forgot about this little eye. Forehead always makes me want to crash out too. I don't know what to do with the forehead. There's always very subtle shading in there, and it's confusing. Something about like what happens above the eyebrows is always a little strange to me. Forehead is the reason why most of my OCs have bangs. Yep, fair enough. I feel you on that, man. Foreheads are weird. Especially when they have an eyeball on them. I wish hands weren't so complicated. Dude, if we all just had nubs, imagine how easy drawing would be. I mean, I guess it would be a lot harder in the actual drawing process. But if we figure out how to draw with the nub, then we'll never have to draw hands. And it'd be a perfect society, you know what I'm saying? It'd be great. Boycott hands, alright? All drawings contain nubs. This is going to be tricky. To blend in the eye into the forehead.
Good morning, sunshine.
Tez, what's up, Tez? Unk? Is Unk like uncle? Is that the new slang? What's up, Unk? It feels a little strange to say, but listen, who am I? The blue eyeshadow I really should have waited to do as well, because it's making the shading a little bit trickier to get right to. Let me actually go ahead and get rid of that for now. I can see what I'm doing a little bit better in terms of the shading. And then we can re-add it later. Alright, there we go. Now I can see what's happening. That's why I give all my characters pockets somewhere exactly. Or like the classic hands behind them pose. That's it. That's a tried and true method. That is that called someone old. You call me old? Oh, You're right, though. It is true. I'm a granny. See those little tiny creases. I recommend darkening them up quite a bit. Just try not to get carried away with it, like I typically do. Just a little tiny dab of real dark, almost solid black will help really give you that more depth. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want. We want that depth. Alright, that'll do for now. Around the corners, I tend to make it a tad bit darker too. Not quite as dark, but a little bit darker than the rest. That will also help give you a more 3D effect. Sorry with these, I know I'm like tilting the canvas a lot. I'm sure that's probably a wee bit disorienting. Get rid of all the makeup. Can't do it. Can't do it. Simply can't. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Typically, I would do this part of the shading more red tinted than kind of skin tone tinted. Like I would do it kind of like this a bit more when I do the shading. But because I'm gonna go back in with the blue later on, I don't need to worry about that. I just need to see where the shading is, so I can see where the lights and darks are. You know what I'm saying? You like it without the makeup? So I think I'm gonna paint you another. Oh goodness, what is it? Is it mochi? Oh, I hope it's mochi. Oh goodness. Ooh. I remember it was funny when you did that one drawing of me and you made it without a nail. Calling me out, dude. It ain't right. But it was accurate. Definitely accurate. Oh, the hands. Alright, Hole. I see you. I see you, Sneaky. Alright. Gotta do these hands in Hole's honor. And when I get to the shading part of hands, it's actually not too hard anymore. It's just the drawing it part. I used to have a lot of trouble shading the hands, but now I kind of found a process that makes actually shading them a whole lot easier. I'm not exactly sure what it is or how or why, but they're easier than they used to be. ×2. Thank you, Ho. Joe Ranft? Joe Ramft? What's that? I don't know what that is. You sound like an older version of Mabel from Gravity Falls. I will say, GBL, I get that quite a lot. But thank you. I love her voice. I want Pirate, Optimus, Godzilla, King Kong, Queen, Xenomorph Prime as my drawing request. No, I won't do it. I refuse. I just made the perfect eyeliner shape, but it was too dark. Oh, rip. Are you talking about on a drawing or on your face? Because God knows that's the struggle for me every time, man. And I don't like having too much eyeliner on, so when I accidentally change the shape, and, you know, sometimes to fix it, you gotta just make it bigger and more prominent. It's the worst. It's a true struggle. You think being good at drawing would make doing stuff like that easier, but I don't think it does. At least not for me. What if I'm making an OC with pale skin? Do I still use more reddish tones? So, I mean, it depends. Even pale skin will typically have a reddish hue just because of the blood underneath, right? That's pretty much why a lot of the shading and all has a red tint. Just because there's blood, right? Now, if you want them to look gaunt, you would do less red. And gaunt isn't the same thing as pale. I don't know if that's the right word. But, like, looking like, you know, when the blood drains from someone's face, that kind of look, or like a vampire or something like that, you would do more maybe grayish or even more purpley kind of tones, or just less saturated tones, and that'll give you more of that kind of gaunt look. But even if they're pale, I probably would still use reddish tones for the shading. You know what I mean? But it, you know, of course, it depends on what kind of vibe you're going for. But yeah, I would still probably use reddish or pinkish. You could do pinkish instead of red, you know. Joe Ranft. Am I saying that name right? Ranft? Sounds a little wild. You hate on my drawing request. Only when they're Transformer, King Kong, Optimus Prime, Xenomorphs. And you're right about that. His SUV flew off a cliff, plunged 130 feet into the Navajo River. Really? What? That's in the Cars movie? I've only ever seen the first one, and it was a long time ago, so I don't remember. That sounds like they're not going to survive that. What's up? Is that Ian? Ian Lyon? Lion? What's up? On a drawing, but I can't replicate it. Wait, hold on. Oh, on a draw. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I feel you on that. Absolutely. I love that painting. Yes, I'll make sure Mochi. Yay! Thank you. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. I wouldn't be complete without a moch. Must have a moch. Alright, we are finally making some progress with this lady face. But yeah, y'all saw what I was talking about, how I get carried away with the darks, and so I had to lighten up everything, and now it looks better. And then just kind of go in with some real dark, just for the tiny little, practically black areas. Like a nostril's typically pretty dark. And the little tiny creases. Just be careful with it, because again, there's a balancing act you gotta do there, you know what I mean? And I'm still figuring it out, but I have gotten better at it. But it's always a little bit of a challenge. But that will really make a difference if you figure out how to do that. You know what I mean? If you want it to look more 3D. If you don't worry about it. You know, depends on the style. Under the neck. I wouldn't do it a lot under the neck. Let me show you guys since I'm gonna... So the neck, I typically do a little bit darker overall, especially if it's like behind a lot of clothes and stuff. The whole thing would be a lot darker, just like in general. Oh, kind of like that. So just make it a little bit darker, and then typically where the neck connects, like over here, I'll make that kind of the darkest part. So I'm gonna like do the, you know, the typical. Oh, let me blend that out. That's looking a little wild right there. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. Well, I gotta fix that. There we go. That's better. All right. Now that looks better. Typically, right under where the kind of like jaw kind of connects to the neck, nearish the ear, like the closer to the ear, the kind of darker I'll make it. So in the end, I'm probably gonna make it like just like right here, just like super dark. You know what I mean? But again, it always depends on like the angle of the face, the lighting, all that stuff. But If I'm doing just very basic lighting, like this is pretty basic, you know what I mean, then I typically do that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? I think that might be a little too dark though, so I'm gonna lighten it just a little bit. That's not what I wanted. I want to do that. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. Give you one more. Do one more, and then I'm gonna really... Stop it. What are you doing, computer? I'm gonna really crank down the dark right here. There we go. Just right there. Now the hard part with the neck is there's all kind of weird shapes in there, like where the, what is it called, the Adam's apple and stuff like that is. That's like a whole nother beast, you know what I mean? So just kind of learning the shape of the neck can help you with that. I saw one person who posted a TikTok of them just rendering necks and like from the neck to the shoulders, and it was fascinating watching them. About to give up on this sketch. No, boop. I mean, it's okay if sometimes you gotta abort. I do that all the time. Don't be ashamed to abort, you know? If it's not working, it's not working. What are you gonna do? You know how many half-finished drawings I have on my computer? I have many. Many, many, many. Especially if you're not enjoying the process, you might as well, you know what I mean? Sometimes it could be your best bet. It's not giving up, it's just trying again, you know? Okay, let's see. Thank you for the likes, by the way, Pink Fox. I see you working hard down there. Are you gonna start streaming again, Pink? What if I commission you to draw Optimus Prime? Listen, Hole, I need money, so I probably would accept it if you're gonna pay me. I can't guarantee it'll turn out too good, but listen, a commission's a commission, you know what I mean? I will try my hardest, but I will warn you it probably won't turn out that great. I'll just do a human version of Optimus Prime. Be like, this is what you wanted, right? Oh, I'm so sorry, I misunderstood. Well, anyway, bye. Can't afford to be picky right now, though, in these hard times, man. Times are tough. Alright, so we need to line that. Line that a little bit, little Cupid's bow. I don't believe that anybody... It's 7 already? Good gracious. Good golly, good gracious me. Good gravy almighty. Alright. Let's see. I'm probably going to come back and do more work on this face, but I do want to kind of move on for right now. I'm sure you guys are sick of looking at this lady's face for like 2 hours, so... This is why commissions are expensive, because it takes this much work. Alright, yeah. We're gonna keep them. I'll come back to it. I'll make it prettier later, but let's keep them moving right now. Let's keep a scooching. I'm too stubborn to give up on it, not gonna lie. Listen, just keep scribbling until it looks right. That's my motto. Gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? How about a pirate optimist? See, pirate's okay. You take out all the other stuff. I could do the pirate. Aw, thank you, Pink Fox. I appreciate you. It helps. Times are hard, man. I'm telling you. When you left, things were a lot better. When you came back, like I said, there are people out there that I follow that have like 50K followers, and they have less viewers than me on their lives now. Like, it is brutal on TikTok. That's why I'm mad at TikTok. And I wouldn't have cried if it went away. But it's not going away, you guys. You heard about that? From my understanding, we are keeping TikTok. They finally decided to make a decision. So we get to keep it. Yay. Still mad at it, though. Still mad at TikTok. I think it was absolutely outrageous. They refused to communicate with us for so long. Ain't no excuse for all of that. And I am curious to see how things will change. We shall see indeed. Hopefully for the better. Things certainly aren't super great right now, so maybe things will get better. Who knows? My experience, they typically don't. But you never know. Little optimistic doodles, alright? Alright. Bubble time. I've done a lot of ladies with cleavage. Alright. And they are surprisingly difficult in terms of doing the shading. For whatever reason, the bubbles always do something I don't expect them to do in terms of the shading. You think you just shade it like a circle, but they just don't look like that. They just don't work like that, and I don't know why. Very frustrating. I just remembered today's the Saturday instead of Sunday. There you go, Spooky. See, that's a good one. You thought it was Sunday, but it's actually Saturday. That's a good thing to be confused about. When it's the other way around, then it's bad. You know what I mean? It was just a little bit tricky. Now, I don't want to get too in-depth with it because we're on TikTok, but I do need to make them look nice. Okay? Just like any other part of the body, alright? Don't be bashful. You guys ever do like a life drawing class where you gotta draw somebody that's naked? I've done that before. We did one where it was a really very curvy girl, and that was fun. They tried to get people who have very different body shapes than like the typical, like this kind of body shape. It was actually a lot of fun, but it wasn't a drawing. We had to like paint it. So we were like doing like one of those like drawing from life things with the model, but instead of a pencil or charcoal, we had to use paint. So we had to do it like fast that way. But I actually really like how they turned out. So I have some paintings with naked ladies in my house, but I like them. All right. Sometimes what I will do to help me out is I will section off areas like that, right? So that what I can do is I can select that area, because where it's like it comes out right here and then it flattens right here, so there's going to be a difference in shading from there to there. So sometimes it can be easier to section it off like this, and I'll show you why it kind of helps me out a little bit. Kind of do this number. That way that part won't be affected and this part will, because for whatever reason that's kind of what bubbles do with shading and stuff. Very strange, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? I slit the sheet. What? The oh Lord, I'm gonna, you trying to get me say a naughty word, Hole. I'm on to you. You guys see that? Hole tried to get me say the naughty word. But I'm on to you. I'm on to you. I almost said it too. But not today. Oh, thank you, Headbutt. I appreciate it. Hold on, we gotta put you over here. Naughty, naughty hole. What? Butthead. Did I say headbutt? Hello? My brain don't work too good today. But head. And then 4 roses. There we go. Thank you, Butthead. Oh, Master, you gave me little Master your hull. I'm still mad at you for trying to get me to curse. Alright, I don't know what those dudes are, so I'm just gonna do a little face. But he's mad. Because he almost said a curse word. Thank you. Even though you're naughty. Oh, and 6 roses. Alright. Thank you. What's up, Pink Fox? I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it. They tried, but I didn't do it. I'm a good doodler. I'm a refined doodle lady, and I would never say such foul, horrible words. Never in my life would I ever. Why isn't that working? What's happening? Am I in the right layer? What's going on here? Why isn't? Oh, that's right, because I'm not. Okay, so yeah. I'll be confusing myself sometimes. And you see how when I'm doing like a crease, it's easier if I just have this part selected, so I don't have to worry about drawing on this one, right? And getting those dark creases, like anywhere on the body, can be a lot easier too if you section off the area. That's a big thing that I do typically is I section it off, like the face. Otherwise, you're going to have stuff like this. And it's fine right here because I'm going to just erase it. But a lot of times I'll just section the face and it'll keep it nice and clean. It is a little difficult sometimes because if I have a sectioned off area and then I make it really dark like this, right? And I need to blend that out, look what'll happen. Look. It's a real pain in the patootie, all right? If I try to blend that out, you see that? You see that right there? Because technically it's registering this part as white. So it's going to blend it in. So if you want to blend it nice, you can try, but that tends... Can you see what I'm talking about? Let me make it a little more. So you see how it's white on the edge, when really you're trying to make it black. You just want to blend that black out over here. So keep that in mind. It's a little tricky. That's why sometimes I won't section it off, and then I'll do it like this, even if I'm overlapping. That way I can blend without that white thing happening. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, stuff like that, you kind of learn to work around. That's typically how I do stuff like that. It's the most efficient way I can think of, but I'm sure there's a lot of other ways. Uh-oh, we got another one. All right. Will this one make me curse? I don't think so. Betty bought some... I mean, I guess it's not a tongue twister if I say it that slow. Betty bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of the bitter butter, that would make my batter bitter. I did it. I did it. You got a question? Lay it on me. Beautiful, you right? What's up, Ace? Can't you simplify it? Well, that's the thing with you talking about your doodle request. Like, I wouldn't be able to simplify it enough and have it still look like what I'm drawing. You know what I mean? I think something like that, Winnie. I think America bought it or something. I'm not exactly sure. They really don't like explaining anything to us, which is just really cool of them. I'll never forgive them for like not telling us anything for so long, and then just like the first time it was like banned, they were just like, "Oh, by the way, it's going away right now. Goodbye." And it's like, again, like, you know, my livelihood isn't in this. I'm not making any money, but there are a lot of people who manage to make a business on this, and it heavily relies on the software. Like this platform has as many problems as I have with it right now. It has given a lot of people a chance to make a better lives for themselves, and a lot of it heavily relies on this app. So for them to just take it away without even giving people a chance to like prepare for that, it's just absolutely unacceptable. Like if it's going away, fine. Give people a heads up so they can function and like handle it accordingly. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous that they did that. I will never get over that. I get it's complicated negotiations, whatever. I think there is no excuse that they couldn't have communicated just a little bit in advance. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. But yeah, supposedly, and again, I don't know nothing, you know, but from what I understand, we're going to be keeping it. So You lurking, silly buddy. Ain't nothing wrong with the little lurk. I was scared for the TikTok 86 because it was a part of something bigger. Yeah, it's a mess. And again, they don't like talking to us about it, so they just like keeping us guessing, which is just really cool of them. Really awesome. Thank you. People's livelihoods. Especially in times like how it is right now. People are struggling to eat food every day. So, like, ripping somebody's hard earned company away from them that was finally giving them a chance to not be miserably poor was really messed up of them. Really uncalled for. Really didn't appreciate that. And again, I'm not making money on here, so it wasn't necessarily like that for me, but a lot of people it was, and it's really, really unfair to them. All they had to do was just communicate. You know what I mean? Let us know so we can deal with it. Like any other business, like before something like that happens, they get warning, they get communication. You know, they know what's happening, like sometimes years in advance, so they can deal with it accordingly. But because we're all little peons, I guess they didn't feel the need to communicate anything. And I mean, to be fair, what are we going to do about it, you know? It's just, ugh. Still mad about it. It's a bunch of baloney, alright? It's baloney. But, like I said, we're keeping it, so. I'm just going to see how the new TikTok turns out. We'll see. Better or worse. That's why I'm building up my other streaming platforms, too, in case worse comes to worse. You know what I mean? Isn't it like shading a hill or planet? Kind of, yeah. Because they're kind of like pushed up and together, it's more circular shaped. If they were like, example, wearing a bra versus not wearing a bra, if they weren't wearing a bra, the shading would be very different. What's up, Adam Davis? I see you over there. What's up? So it depends on the shape of them in particular. You know what I mean? If they're not in a bra kind of wearing shape, then they would look very different. Thank you, Pink Fox. I appreciate it. That's a lot of likes. Do you want to hear it? I don't know, Panda. I'm a little afraid to hear it. Trying to get my art style following, and I want to start comms, but Mevo Company bought it, and I'm trying to get my art style flowing, and I want to start comms. But yeah, it's hard out there for everybody, man. It's hard. We all just hanging in there for dear life right now while the rich people decide if they want to let us eat today or not. All right, I'm not gonna get too whiny about it. Whiny isn't the word because we're all going through it, but too much of a downer. You know what I mean? We're just trying to doodle. All right, that'll do for the bubbles for now. All right, belly time. Bellies for me can be very hit or miss. Sometimes I can do them no problem. Sometimes they're difficult. So we shall see. So yeah, this is pretty much how I do the. Whoa, wrong there. This is pretty much how I do the shading for like commissiony type things. This type of very long-winded, but it gives it more like I think it looks nicer personally, even though it does take longer. I think it looks a little bit nicer and cleaner this way, and the shading looks a little bit more realistic, I think, as long as I do it right, you know? So that's typically how I do it. Sometimes I'll still use the soft light method. A lot of times for clothes, I'll still use soft light, and I'll just do this for like the skin. It really just depends on what I'm working on and what works best. But in general, lately I use this particular shading method. What question, Pink Fox? I missed it. Predicting this since 2019. We have been? I didn't pay it. I don't even think I got a TikTok back then. It took me a while to like actually even get an account. Brisk, brave, oh goodness, I can't even read those words. Brigaders, brainwash, broad, bright, blades, blunderbusses, and I can't read that one. Balancing them badly. Okay. You're feeling better? See the power of doodles. Ace, you're over there? How's it feel to be over there, Ace? You like it over there? You can actually see the whole canvas that way. That's fun. Sometimes you can see it on TikTok too, but typically I use the phone because TikTok doesn't like its own streaming software for some reason. I'm experimenting with it though. I'm seeing if it still makes a difference or not. Right now, it's not as much of an extreme difference, but it does seem like there is a difference. So we shall see. Okay, it's 7:27. We might have to call it soon here in a minute. Let's see, how much can I get done in this valley? We gonna do doodle time at 7:30, I think. So I gotta go just a tiny bit early today. Dude, time flies when I'm streaming. I'll never get over it. It was so exhausting when I first started. There wasn't even like anybody talking to me when I first started. And now it's like it just flies by, man. Like if I didn't have human needs like needing to eat and stuff like that, like I could just stream forever and like time would just disappear, I swear. Okay, we're getting a tummy. It's looking like a tummy a little bit. An hour ahead of you? Oh, snap. Wait, ahead. Does that mean it's 6? No, that means it's 8:30 for you, huh? Did you see the 6 roses? Depends on when you sent them. Yeah, I saw them. I got you right here. Don't you worry. I got you. That's how it goes, you right? That's how it always be going. All right, and this is another example of what I'm talking about with like really darkening those crease spots. So like you see how this goes under the belt, and again, just be careful not to get carried away. It is a balancing act, let me tell you. So just a little bit like that, right where it's overlapping. See what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Sometimes you could do more if it's like higher off the body, you can make it a little bit bigger of a thing. But for something that's like right on the skin, and why is it blue? What happened? I'm shading with blue right now. That's not what I want. Yeah, like I said, I usually stick with red. Red colors when I'm shading. So yeah, that'll give it the kind of skin tone like this. So yeah, right on the crease, make it nice and dark, and that'll make it look a lot more 3D for you. Just be careful, because you know it's tempting to do it like that, right? But that's not gonna look right. You gotta do it just a little bit, right in the creases. Just a little tiny bit. And the darkest part is right before it disappears. And then I also like to, right on the edge, I like to do just a little bit darker right on the edge like that, just to kind of show it's wrapping around. And the more you do it, the more you'll kind of get used to it and get an eye for it and all that stuff. So like I said, if you look at my old commissions, you'll see I had not quite mastered it. So not that I mastered it now, but I'm better at it than I used to be. And that's, at least in my opinion, very obvious with my older drawings. So unfortunately, or my older commissions, I should say. That's why I need more of these so that I can have a more updated portfolio. All right, we got a tummy. Making progress, baby. We gonna finish her one of these days. Is her head too big? I don't know. Maybe it's too big. I feel like it's a little too big. Just maybe shrink the head a little bit. Just face. All right, doodlers. We did the doodle for today. But uh-oh. Hold on. Spam me with goodness. All right, hold up before we do doodle time. We gotta give you your due respects. Ace, thank you for the bits. All right, so first we're gonna do Ace. And we got the little purpleette bits. I don't know what they're supposed to be. They look like triangles. Comes for thank you. And then we got coal. Let me do another one here. Oh, whoa. Coal. All right, so we got a rose. We got whatever that heart thingy is. This, whatever this is. I still don't know what that is, but it's a thing. That's a gift. We got the little potato with the little bat, I think. He's got a little hat. Okay. And then we got a heart puff. Like so. We got a TikTok. Like that. That looks like a D, but I mean, that is their logo. So. And then we got a live. Okay, live. A corn. And a chili. Anything else? Oh, goodness. An ice cream. Boom, boom. And then 3 cats. There we go. We did it. Times 3. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. Thank you all. What question you got for me, Pink Fox? Lay it on me. Thank you for the likes, by the way. It helps. It really does. You helping us out today with your generous tapping. Gigi and a goat? I didn't even see those. Oh, I did. I just completely skipped over those. Goodness. So we got Gigi and a goat. There we go. Thank you, Hold. All right. So Pink Fox, tell me that question, and in the meantime, I'm gonna be setting up the doodle business over here. What is that thing, Ace? What's that? I hate how small they are on Purple app. Can't see what any of that. I can barely see my own. Oh, is that one of yours? That's cool. I can see it's a little dude. He's crying. Why is he crying? Did you draw those? Those are fun. I gotta update mine. I drew those like eons ago. Alright, so doodle time, baby, doodle time. Doodle time, we got a doodle time. Don't look at that yet. We're not quite there. There we go. Boom. Alright. Actually, hold on. I always forget to move the chat over there. We're gonna get that out of here first. No, stop it. Stop it, you little biscuit. Alright. Hold on. So I gotta move the chat over here. Thank you. I'm gonna move the other YouTube chat over here, even though nobody's over there. All right, doodle time. Oh, that's so difficult. All right, I'm just gonna scoot you over here real quick, so I can turn this back on. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna move you back. You think having 4 monitors would be enough, but it's still a struggle sometimes to find a place for everything. All right, we got the doodle time slideshow ready. Let's see. Love you so much. Wait, what? How am I missing all of these? I don't see the one you're talking about. Love you so much more. Oh, I see. Okay, I see it. Yep. My brain's just not comprehending them today. There we go. We got the little dude right there. All right. Doodle time. Get ready. Doodle time. Yeah. All right. You guys ready for just a couple doodles today? Because we did doodle time yesterday, so there's not going to be a whole lot, but let's see what we got, baby. I hate that. Stop disappearing. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got, my doodaloos. No. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's so small over there. All right, hold on. I gotta zoom this in. I moved it to the other monitor and it's so small. Spooky! Doesn't Spooky have a gorgeous style with the color? See, Spooky is one of those people who are just really good at color. Like, even the way they do their shading, it's never just like black shading. Like, it's like red tinted or purple tinted. They're really good at the color. Master, look at this. This is Luffy, right? You guys, I started watching One Piece, but I never got too far into it. Should I keep watching? Is it worth it? I heard it takes a really long time for it to get going, you know what I'm saying? Is it worth it? Famian, we got a jack-o'-lantern. Ooh, okay. You should dress up as that as Halloween. That'd be fun. Not worth it? You think so? Thank you, Famian. And then let's see, we got Boop. Oh, this is the horror one you were talking about, huh? Loneliness was always a part of our journey, so why bother not accepting it? I mean, that's true, you know? Dang, that looks awesome. Thank you, Boop. Thank you for sharing. Missed a gift. Alright, tell you what. Remind me next time and we'll do the gift. Pink fox. We got a pink fox. That looks gorgeous. Is this one you're working on right now? Your girlies are so pretty. Goodness. I still don't know how you draw like that in Photoshop. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Pink Fox. It's been a while since we've seen some of your art. And that's it, my doodaloos. We did it. We saw the doodles. Oh, you're using Procreate? Didn't you used to use Photoshop? Did you start using Procreate recently? Are you liking it better? Alright, doodlers, that's it for today. I will see you doodlers next time. I will be back on Tuesday for some more doodle goodness. You guys have a good weekend, okay? Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye. Goodbye. Alright, and my purple app doodlers. I mean, no, I can say it now. My Twitch doodlers and my YouTube doodlers or lack thereof. Thank you for watching. You guys get extra content over here because you guys are special. But alright, I'll see you next time, okay? See you later. Goodbye.